Hi, everyone. I am here and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to see your questions because I am actually trying to do this live stream now from my phone because um, I was not able to get on with my computer for some reason. So I'm going to see if I can see your comments while I'm looking at my phone here. Um, let's see. Okay. Oh, it looks like I can. Okay. So this is me trying to do the Ask the Attorney Anything, and I don't. For some reason, the something changed on YouTube, which didn't allow me to get on live from my computer all of the sudden. So I just want to say hello to everybody, and I'm going to try to answer questions. I do see some comments coming up. I see somebody from Lakeland and someone from, um, let's see, I'm seeing Breakthrough Moment says good morning. Okay. So if my ex is a narc sociopath with bipolar, should I not try to get supervised time sharing for my children? So let's talk a little bit about the best interest analysis when it comes to children. And again, I'm only licensed as an attorney in Florida, so I can talk in general about what courts are going to be looking for as far as best interest analysis when it comes to children. And basically, people have a right to be parents to their children. So they're going to start with this presumption that people have a right to be parents to their children. So, they may or may not entertain things that have to do, which, you think are really awful. In other words, they were a really horrible husband or a horrible wife, or maybe they were a horrible person. But, being a narcissist is not illegal, even though, yes, I think it should be in a lot of ways. But being a narcissist is not illegal, and it doesn't necessarily translate to, from the court's perspective, to making that person a bad enough parent that they're going to interfere with their rights to be a parent to that child. So, or children. So what that means is that you have to prove why that person shouldn't have rights to their children. And it's very, anyway, it's very difficult to prove sometimes. So what you want to show, you don't want to go in and say this person is bipolar, or go in and say this person is a narcissist. I mean, narcissist is more like traits. I mean, yes, it's a personality disorder. Bipolar disorder, I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but bipolar disorder could be more of a chemical imbalance. And I've known plenty of people who have bipolar disorder who are on the proper medication and don't necessarily, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad parents. It just means that, they have to be regulated. And you want to be really careful about not making it look like you're saying that there's something wrong with someone just because they happen to have a mental illness. Now, all of that being said, if they have something that is, their mental illness is causing harm to the children in some way, let's say that the person is violent with them, or maybe they're just impulsive and they're not thinking straight. They've left the children alone in the car. They've left them alone to go out drinking. They have, all different types of partners coming in and out of the house at all different hours of the day. And, there's no stability for the children. You want to focus on things like that, not necessarily coming right out and saying, hey, this person is a narcissist or this person is bipolar. So while, it sounds really dramatic to say this person is bipolar and they're a narcissist, the courts, meaning the judges, are going to look a little bit more to, okay, but how does that affect their parenting, and how does that affect what happens when the kids are at that person's home? Can they provide a stable home for the children? The short answer is it might cause them to need to have supervised time sharing, but it may not. And even if somebody has supervised time sharing, a lot of times the courts are going to require some kind of a plan or a step up plan where maybe they're no longer going to have to be required to have supervised time sharing. It's pretty rare that they are going to be on supervised time sharing for the rest of the children's time sharing, until they're, let's say they're 5 years old for the next 13 years or whatever. So I would just say that sometimes it can make a difference, but sometimes it definitely, isn't necessarily the case. So I'm trying to finish answering your questions and also sort of look at other questions. I'm seeing, it's kind of hard because I'm looking at this on my phone, but I'm seeing something about withholding medication. And, whenever a court is looking at what's going to be best for the children, they're definitely going to take a look at things like, okay, maybe the children are, diabetic, or they have ADHD or something that requires them to need medication on a regular basis. And they will take a look at whether or not that parent is giving them the medication. I've actually had judges put directly into court orders, that when they're with this parent, that this parent agrees to give the children the medication that they are supposed to have, as prescribed by the doctor. I mean, I've had parents who, I had a client one time who was ADHD himself. He did not like the idea that he was on medication when he was a kid. And so he ended up, not liking giving the medication to his own son. So he just didn't give it to him. And, in his mind, he felt like he was doing his son a favor because he said when he was a kid, it made him feel bad, like sluggish or whatever it was. I can't remember why he said it didn't, work for him. But so he just refused to give it to his child when he had the child with him. So, okay, so somebody's saying, what are my chances if the other party is an alcoholic and neglectful? It's so hard to say what are your chances, when it comes to supervised time sharing, or and it's like, what is it that you're asking for? And one of the things that I want to caution people against is when you're asking for supervised time sharing, be really careful about what it is that that you've done in the past, because you can't ask for supervised time sharing and then the kids have been, in this person's care on a regular basis for several years. And now all of a sudden that the divorce is filed, you're asking for supervised time sharing. Or you're asking for limited time sharing. And the limited time sharing thing, I also think, can be a little bit of a slippery slope, because if you're asking for limited because you think that they're in danger when they're with that parent, I almost feel like you should be asking for supervised, because if they're in danger for 50% of the time, wouldn't they still be in danger if they're only there 20% of the time, or 5% of the time, or any percent of the time? So you just have to be really, really careful about that. And okay, somebody's saying something about peanut butter. It's like really hard for me to see because I'm on my phone because of the technical difficulties for today. But obviously, if your child is allergic to peanut butter and your child almost died because the parent gave that child peanut butter, that's a really good fact for you. That's a really good thing for somebody to present. So, as far as trying to get supervised time sharing or something like that. Anything like sole custody, supervised time sharing, again, you're starting against the wave there, because the wave is like supposed to be 50-50. Um so these were really good questions. I'm like trying to see. Somebody says, thank you so much for your time and your help, from the Channel Islands and that sort of thing. So, that's so cool. I mean, I see somebody from the Philippines. Literally, narcissism knows no bounds, and they're from people who are watching my channel from literally all over the world. I mean, there are a couple of you from countries that I actually had to look up on the map, because I had never even heard of the countries before. So I think it's wonderful that we can all come together as a community, but it also, it just shows us all what the pandemic of narcissism we have in the world today. So, um, thanks for sitting with me on this crazy live stream, which I had to do from my phone. And I have no idea if this is even going to end up being a recording that I can end up putting out there. I hope I can, because I answered some great questions about supervised time sharing and the narcissist. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'm asking you to please do that now. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can definitely get notified when I go live. And I will see you in the next video. If you do want more support, come on and join me in my free private Facebook group, which is Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung, and also grab my free worksheet, which is at winmynegotiation.com. It's a free Crush My Negotiation worksheet. I'm so glad that you were here. Thanks for sticking with me with this crazy live stream that I just did, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much.